Hello, everyone. What if failure isn't what you're really afraid of? What if you're afraid someone will watch you try, watch you struggle, and watch you discover that you are not as good as you hoped you would be? What if the real fear isn't losing, but being seen while you're still learning how to win? That fear has kept countless people invisible. They hide their ambitions, delay their dreams, and pretend they don't care because caring makes them vulnerable. But you cannot build an extraordinary life while constantly protecting yourself from judgment. At some point, you have to decide that your future matters more than somebody else's opinion. There is a difference between being afraid to fail and being afraid to be seen failing. Failure itself is often survivable. You make a mistake, learn something, adjust your approach, and continue. But being watched while you struggle can feel much more personal. Suddenly, failure isn't just an outcome. It feels like a statement about who you are. You start asking yourself what people will think, whether they will laugh, whether they will criticize you, or whether they will discover that you are not as talented as you wanted them to believe. Those questions have stopped more dreams than a lack of ability ever could. Maybe that's why you haven't started. Maybe you've been waiting until you're good enough to be seen. You want the finished business, not the first attempt. You want the confident body, not the awkward beginning. You want the successful channel, not the videos that nobody watches. You want the finished book, not the pages that still look imperfect. You want people to see the result, but you don't want them to witness the process. And that is the trap. Every impressive result has an embarrassing beginning, but you are demanding the confidence of the finished version before allowing yourself to become that person. Nobody becomes excellent without first being inexperienced. Nobody becomes confident without first doing things badly. Nobody becomes skilled without spending time looking like a beginner. The person you admire for their ability once struggled with the same fundamentals they now make look effortless. You are comparing your unfinished chapter to somebody else's polished page and then using that comparison as evidence that you should remain silent. Stop doing that. You don't need permission to be a beginner, and you don't need to impress anyone while you're learning. You don't need to announce every goal, prove your worth before taking the first step, or convince everyone that you're capable. You simply need to be willing to look inexperienced long enough to become experienced. That requires humility because your ego wants to protect an image of competence. Your growth requires something different. It requires you to accept that there will be moments when you don't know what you're doing, moments when your work isn't impressive, and moments when someone might notice that you are still learning. Let them notice. Being inexperienced is not a permanent identity. It is a temporary stage on the road to mastery. Your first attempt may be terrible. Your first video may receive almost no attention. Your first business idea may fail. Your first presentation may make your hands shake. Your first workout may expose how far you still have to go. Your first conversation may not go the way you imagined. None of these things are proof that you should stop. They are proof that you have entered the arena. You cannot improve something you are too afraid to begin, and you cannot become exceptional while constantly protecting yourself from looking ordinary. You cannot think your way into mastery. You cannot plan your way into courage forever. At some point, you have to expose yourself to the possibility of embarrassment. You have to publish the work, make the call, raise your hand, apply for the opportunity, walk into the gym, start the project, speak the idea, or put yourself in a position where failure becomes possible. Because if failure is impossible, growth is usually impossible too. The same door that allows failure to enter is often the door through which opportunity arrives. You may tell yourself that you don't care what people think, but then spend hours imagining their reactions. You imagine someone laughing at your ambition. You imagine someone saying you aren't good enough. You imagine someone reminding you of your failures. But most people are far less focused on you than you think. They are busy thinking about themselves, their problems, their appearance, their future, and what everyone else thinks about them. You are giving enormous power to imaginary audiences. Take that power back. Your life is too valuable to be controlled by opinions that may never even exist. Even if someone judges you, what does their opinion actually change? Their laughter does not build your future. Their criticism does not complete your goals. Their doubt does not determine your ability. Why would you surrender years of your life to the possibility that somebody might have an opinion? Let them talk. You have work to do. The person who criticizes your first attempt has not necessarily earned the right to define your final result. Listen to useful criticism because it can make you better, but learn to recognize the difference between feedback that helps you improve and judgment that exists only to make you smaller. Sometimes the harshest critic isn't outside you. It is inside you. You tell yourself, "What if I fail?" Then you ask, "What if everyone sees?" Then you tell yourself, "Maybe I should wait." Eventually, waiting feels safer than trying. But safety has a price. Every time you choose hiding over action, you teach yourself that fear gets to make your decisions. The more often you obey that fear, the stronger it becomes. The more often you challenge it, the less authority it has over your life. You cannot build confidence by constantly protecting yourself from uncomfortable experiences. Confidence comes from evidence. You attempt something difficult, survive the discomfort, learn from the result, and attempt again. You improve because you stayed long enough to learn. Eventually, your mind has proof that you can handle uncertainty. That is real confidence. It isn't the confidence of someone who knows they will never fail. It is the confidence of someone who knows that failure will not destroy them. Stop demanding that your first attempt look like your final achievement. Give yourself permission to be unfinished. Give yourself permission to struggle, make mistakes, ask questions, and learn. You are not your worst performance. You are not your most embarrassing moment. You are not the opinion of someone who doesn't understand your journey. You are the person who decides what happens next. Every mistake can become information. Every setback can become experience. And every uncomfortable beginning can become the foundation of something extraordinary. There will come a day when the thing you're afraid to start today becomes something you're proud you began. But you only reach that day by surviving the beginning. You have to walk through the awkward stage. You have to tolerate being unknown. You have to endure the silence before recognition. You have to keep working when nobody understands what you're building. This is where most people disappear. They don't fail. They quit before failure has enough time to teach them anything. Don't be one of them. If your dream matters, let yourself be seen trying. Let people see you learn. Let them see you improve. Let them see you struggle and continue anyway. There is strength in refusing to hide. One day, the same people who saw you struggling may see you succeeding, but that shouldn't be your motivation. Your motivation should be knowing that you gave yourself a chance. Because the greatest tragedy is not failing at something you genuinely wanted. The greatest tragedy is becoming old enough to realize you never tried because you were too concerned about looking foolish. Imagine carrying that regret. Imagine knowing that the opportunity was there, the dream was there, the ability was there, but fear convinced you to stay invisible. Don't let that be your story. If there is a skill you've wanted to develop, begin. If there is a project you've been hiding, release it. If there is a goal you've been afraid to admit, pursue it. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to stop abandoning yourself every time someone might not. Let them misunderstand you. Let them underestimate you. Let them watch you struggle. Let them see you try. Trying is not weakness. Trying is evidence that you still believe your future can be different from your present. If you fail, learn. If you fall, rise. If you get criticized, improve. If nobody notices, continue. If nobody applauds, keep building. Your job is not to protect your image. Your job is to build your life. You are not here to spend your life looking impressive. You are here to become capable. Becoming capable requires mistakes, discomfort, rejection, awkward beginnings, and moments when you don't look like the person you eventually become. So stop hiding behind perfection and stop waiting until you're fearless. Step forward and let the world see the beginning. Your first attempt does not need to be impressive. It only needs to exist. Someday, when you look back, you may realize that the moment you were most afraid to be seen trying was the moment your life finally began to change. You will understand that the judgment you feared was temporary, but the courage you developed stayed with you. The embarrassment you imagined was small compared with the freedom you gained. You stopped living for an audience and started living for your future. You don't need to guarantee success before you begin. You need to guarantee yourself that you will not quit simply because the beginning is uncomfortable. Let yourself be a beginner. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself learn in public. Let yourself become stronger through experience. Your future does not require a perfect version of you. It requires a willing version of you. So start the thing you've been hiding. Make the attempt you've been postponing. Put your work into the world. Walk toward the opportunity. Stop asking whether people will approve and start asking whether you will regret never trying. Your life is too important to sacrifice for the comfort of looking capable. You are not afraid of failure. You are afraid of being seen trying. Now stop being afraid of the wrong thing. Be more afraid of reaching the end of your life and realizing you protected yourself so carefully that you never discovered what you could have become. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more powerful motivational and inspirational speeches. Don't hide your potential. Don't wait for permission. Start before you're ready. Keep building through the uncertainty and be better every day.